apahaya mat pratignam rutam adhikartum avapluto ratastaha rutam adhikartum avapluto ratastaha drutarata charanaha abhayat chaladghur drutarata charanobhyayat chaladghur haririva hantum hibam gatottaraihi haririva hantum ibam gatottarihai swanigamam apahaya mat pratignam rutam adhikartum avapluto ratasta drutarata charano abhaya chaladghur haririva hantum ibam gatottarihya. Word to word meaning. Swanigamam, own truthfulness. Apahaya, for nullifying. Mat pratignam, my own promise. Rutam, factual. Adhi, more. Kartum, for doing it. Avaplutaha, getting down. Ratastaha, from the chariot. Druta, taking up. Rata, chariot. Charanaha, wheel. Abhyayat, went hurriedly. Chaladguhu, trampling the earth. Harihi, lion. Iva, like. Hantum, to kill. Ibham, elephant. Gata, leaving aside. Uttariyaha, covering cloth. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swamy Srila Prabhupada. Translation: fulfilling my desires and sacrificing his own promise, he got down from the chariot, took up its wheel, and ran towards me hurriedly. Just as a lion goes to kill an elephant, he even dropped his outer garment on the way. Please repeat the translation. Fulfilling my desire and sacrificing his own promise, he got down from the chariot, took up its wheel, and ran towards me hurriedly, just as a lion goes to kill an elephant. He even dropped his outer garment on the way. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The battle of Kurukshetra was fought on military principles, but at the same time in a sporting spirit, like a friend's fight with another friend. Duryodhana criticized Bhishma Deva, alleging that he was reluctant to kill Arjuna because of paternal affection. A Kshatriya cannot tolerate insults on the principles of fighting. Bhishma Deva therefore promised that the next day he would kill all 5 Pandavas with special weapons made for the purpose. Duryodhana was satisfied and he kept the arrows with him to be delivered the next day during the fight. By tricks, Arjuna took the arrows from Duryodhana, and Bhishma Deva could understand that this was the trick of Lord Krishna. So he took a vow that the next day Krishna would have to take up weapons himself Otherwise, his friend Arjuna would die. In the next day's fighting, Bhishma Deva fought so violently that both Arjuna and Krishna were in trouble. Arjuna was almost defeated. The situation was so tense that he was able to be killed by Bhishma Deva the very next moment. At that time, Lord Krishna wanted to please his devotee Bhishma by keeping Bhishma's promise, which was more important than his own. Seemingly, he broke his own promise. He promised before the beginning of the battle of Kurukshetra that he would remain without weapons and would not use his strength for either of the parties. But to protect Arjuna, he got down from the chariot, took up the wheel of the chariot, and hurriedly rushed at Bhishma Deva in an angry mood, as a lion goes to kill an elephant. He dropped his covering cloth on the way, and out of great anger, he did not know that he had dropped it. Bhishma Deva at once gave up his weapons and stood to be killed by Krishna, his beloved Lord. The fighting of the day was thus ended at the very moment, and Arjuna was saved. Of course, there was no possibility of Arjuna's death because the Lord himself was on the chariot, but because Bhishma Deva wanted to see Lord Krishna take up some weapon to save his friend, the Lord created this situation to make Arjuna's death imminent. He stood before Bhishma Deva to show him that his promise was fulfilled and that he had taken up the will. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimira Andasya Gnananjana Shilakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prema Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So now actually we were discussing how Bhishma Deva is going to leave his body and what is he meditating upon. So different phases of the Lord he was meditating. Basically the Partha Sarathi form, the Lord on the chariot of the Partha, the Arjuna, and leading the chariot. So that was a favorable form for Bhishma Deva because he wanted to meditate on that Partha Sarathi form. So now today he is meditating different activities of the same Partha Sarathi. So now today's activities is like, what is he meditating today on? Swanigamam apahaya mati pratignam rutam adhikartum avuploto ratasta rutarata charino bhyaya charadgur haririvahantum ibam gatottaraihi. So mat pratignam, to broke his own promise. Whose promise? The Lord's promise himself. So, and to protect the pratigna, to protect the promise of Bhishma Deva, what was the Lord doing? Avaplato ratastaha. He got down from the chariot and took its wheel and running towards Bhishma Deva. Then what was actually Lord's promise? Before Kurukshetra war, both Arjuna and Duryodhana approached the Lord. So they both were asking different favors from the Lord. So Lord gave them two options. One is, either you take my whole Narayana army, otherwise I will be on one side, but I will not hold any weapon. So Duryodhana was very anxious. What will Arjuna select? Because if he selects the whole army, what will be there with me? And what will one Krishna without any weapon will be helpful for me in my fighting? Because Duryodhana was very diplomatic, is it no? He always sees the strength, what strength he has, and how we can use him for his own sense gratification. So Arjuna, as he is a devotee, he asked, if you are there, Krishna, everything is there. If Krishna is there, everything is there. So I don't require any Narayana army. I require you. You do fighting for me, or you don't hold any weapon. You are just beside me. That is my victory. So Duryodhana was very happy that he has not selected any army, and Duryodhana got the entire army. So at that time, Lord promised Duryodhana that he will not hold any weapon in the war. So the situation came in one day. Duryodhana was not satisfied with Bhishma Deva, and he was insulting Bhishma Deva that you have so much affection for Arjuna and Pandavas, that's why you are not showing your complete strength and fighting for me. So Bhishma Deva promised that tomorrow I will kill Arjuna, otherwise Krishna will lift his weapon. So both options are there. Either Arjuna has to be killed or Krishna has to lift some weapon. So Bhishma Deva was fighting very furiously so that Arjuna has to be killed. So, and who is there in the front? The Lord is there in the front. So Lord became so angry with Bhishma because he was not giving a chance for Arjuna to fight back also. He was shooting the arrows one by one at Arjuna. So that Lord became angry at Bhishma Deva and he took up the chariot and he was running. So how is Vyasadeva explaining how he was running? That he forgot that he lost his own upper cloth. Gatu uttaraihi. Uttaraiya. When we are very anxious, when we are very anxious to run or catch something, we forget what is there on our body also. So Lord has become in such a mood that he forgot that he is losing his own upper cloth and is just running because his focus was only on how to stop Bhishma. And once he has left the chariot, Bhishma stopped the war. Because that is what he promised Duryodhana. Either Krishna will lift the wheel, otherwise I will kill Arjuna. So we can see the mercifulness of the Lord. Lord breaks his own promise just to satisfy the devotees. Because he has got so much of affection on all of our jivas, because we jivas are suffering a lot in this material world. See, Lord appeared as Narasimha, is it right? How many promises Hiranyakashipu asked Brahma? Brahma simply said, okay. It's very simple to say, okay. Whatever you say, sanction. But Lord has to take, first he has to do a big makeup. He has to have half lion, half body. And he has to select what place he has to come from. He has to come from a stamba, so that he is not a jiva, taken of normal birth. And he has to select the time also decided by Hiranyakashipu. It should not be morning, it should not be evening, it should be between of both, it should be dusk. And place also he has to decide, it should not be top in the akasha, in the sky or on the earth. So in middle he has to kill. So he took his lap to kill him. And one more important condition, no weapon should kill him. No weapon should kill him. Then now he has to use his Sudarshana. The same Sudarshana has taken the form of the nails of Narasimha. So much efforts the Lord has to take just to fulfill the promise of Brahma. Otherwise he can just break, na? What is there? Lord is Swarat. He can break anything. He is independent. But just to satisfy Brahma's promise to Hiranyakashipu, he has satisfied all the conditions to kill Hiranyakashipu. Because Lord is so much affectionate to the devotees. So once what happened, in Jagannath Puri, the king of Jagannath Puri has got an alliance from Kanchi. So the Kanchi king wants to give his daughter to the Jagannath Puri king. Everything is settled, engagement over, everything is over, and just marriage has to happen in 1 or 2 months. Then what happened? He came to know that the king of Puri sweeps before the chariot of Jagannath. So he is very much depressed. Hey, itna bada raja okay, he is very big king, that a big king. ఆయన ఒక రథం ముందు ఉడవడం ఏంటి, ఒక స్వీపర్ లా ఇవ్వడం ఏంటి, how can he become like a sweeper and broom before the Lord? So he said, I will break the promise. And he says, I will defeat him and bring that Jagannath and keep him behind my Ganesh temple. There used to be a Ganesh temple in Kanchi, and he says he will bring Jagannath Murti and keep it behind Ganesh temple. And he went to fight with Puri king. Puri king doesn't have much army as Kanchi king had. So he was very anxious. So as he is a devotee of Lord, he prayed to Lord himself, because this kingdom belongs to you. The entire Utkala Desha belongs to you, Jagannath. You are the protector of this Desha. I am just your servant, carrying your orders and protecting the citizens of this Utkala Desha. You have to protect whatever you want to do. And as your order, I am going to fight against him. And he took his entire army and he was traveling to fight against the Kanchi king. And suddenly he got a news that the entire Kanchi army has been defeated and the king of Kanchi has come to surrender along with Ganesha. Then he was surprised. How come it happened? I have not even went to the war and everything, war was finished. Then he came to know that on the way he saw one lady. And that lady was asking, King, you have to pay me money because your two warriors have taken buttermilk from me and they have not paid the money. And they said, our king is coming behind, he will pay the money. Then he asked, how about those soldiers? One is very black and one is very white. Then he understand that both Jagannath and Baladev, Shri Radha Govind ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, both Jagannath and Baladev themselves have come to protect the king of Puri and to protect his devotee. That's how the Lord was protecting him. And the same Kanchi Ganesh, now also we can see behind Jagannath temple. The Ganesh, because he was thinking now behind the Ganesh, Jagannath has to be kept. So Jagannath brought the Ganesh and kept him behind the temple to show his victory. So Lord is very much merciful. Lord is so blissful on us, so merciful on us. Otherwise, why Lord has to come here? There are so many infinite servants who are serving him in Vaikuntha Loka. This material world is like the darkest portion. The entire creation was completely lit with the effulgence coming from the Lord. The Brahmajyoti is spread all over the existence. And if you see, the entire room is spread over, some little dark portion will be there. Is it right? In the room. That little dark portion is this material world. And in that material world, there are many material universes, unlimited material universes. And in that material universes, ours is small Brahmanda with Brahma with Chaturmukha, very small Brahmanda. In that Brahmanda, 14 planetary systems are there. In that 14 planetary systems, Earth is more suitable. So, in that Earth, we are so small little thing. In that Earth, we have a small Desha, in the small country, in the small city, we are there. And for us, Lord has to come from that Ananta Koti Brahmanda, he has to come to just save us. See how much affectionate he is for us. But we are not affectionate towards him. Lord shows all the affection for us, but we don't care why Lord is coming for us. Because we are so engrossed in this material body from so many lives. Practiced. You see, every day you practice. Without knowing only, you will be doing everything. Suddenly we don't plan now how to brush, how to do and all things. It happens automatically. In the same way, we have been staying in so many varieties of material bodies that we have forget our own existence, that we are spirit souls. And we always think we are this material body and we have so much responsibilities with this material body. What are all these responsibilities, so-called responsibilities? In engrossing in all these super responsibilities, we forget our own main responsibility. You see, if you go to any college student or something, they have so many activities, is it right? They have some cultural fest, they have to go to a movie, they have to make a big cutout of this favorite star and garland him and do him abhishekam, so many activities they have. They are so engrossed in their activities that they forget they have to study the whole semester, and just before one semester they will all sit and they will all write the side headings. Where are the side headings? Just mug up everything and write tomorrow something. Is it right? Because we forget our duty. In the same way, Because we have been engrossed in so many days in this material world and forgetting our own duty, we will be engrossed in the whole life. In small child, we have to play. Yes, chota bacha hai na, usko abhi kyo chahiye, wo khilana do. He has to play na, that is the child's activity. Then he becomes little bigger and he goes to a jail called a school. Then he is engrossed in studying, reading. 10th हो गया, 10th होने के बाद इंटर हो गया, इंटर होने के बाद इंजीनियरिंग हो गया, इंजीनियरिंग होने के बाद जॉब होना है. He is so busy now. He has to settle in his life. People think once you get job, you are settled. Are you settled? No. You have to get a wife. You are settled? No. You have to get a children. You are settled? No. Your children has to be settled. Again, your children has to start from LKG, UKG, PG, GG, and again their children has to be settled. So much activities we have got. We are so busy with all these activities. We forget that we are spirit souls and our principal duty is to go back to Godhead. Because we forget this, we have been engrossed in this material world for so many lives. So that's why Lord himself, Paramatma himself comes as the spiritual master to awaken us, because we are in deep slumber, deep sleep of these material activities, completely engrossed, completely busy with these activities. So spiritual master comes to just awaken us from this slumber. So when we awaken from this slumber and when we become little attracted towards the Lord, Lord helps us a lot. See how he is running for Arjuna. How is whole Mahabharata war is like a script play by Krishna, is it right? He is arranging everything. He is telling you go there, you take something from Karna, you take something from Duryodhana, you do this, you do this, you do this. And just Arjuna was acting. Because why he is acting? He told, na? Vachanam karishye tava. Whatever you say, I will do. That is what he promised before telling Bhagavad Gita. So, whatever Krishna was telling, Arjuna was doing. So, that's why Krishna has taken the responsibility of Arjuna. So, whatever Lord says, if we active, Lord takes our responsibility. But we act on our own self-freedom, so-called freedom we call it as, we will be engrossed. You see, if a child is protected by the children, we say, you don't go there, you don't be here, you be here, you be here. Child thinks, why so much restrictions on me? My parents are fully, हमको तो जेल में रख दिया, वो they are completely stopping me, complete my freedom गया. Then what is happening? If you just, I am very liberal person, I lose my children, let them play on their way. Just once he gets up, you leave. He goes and touches a knife, he'll cut his hand, he'll go and touches the fire, he'll get caught by the fire, he will be hurt by it. Is it a good condition? No, that freedom is not a happy freedom for the child. The happy freedom is when he is completely protected by his parents. Is it right? If you just catch a child and you just throw on the air, the child will be laughing, is it right? Because he knows you will again protect him, you will again catch him. That's why he is laughing. But if he knows that he will fall down and broke his hips, he will not be laughing, is it right? So in the same way, we are also in the air, in this material world struggling. We want the Supreme Lord to always protect us. Because that is the first principle of surrender. What is the first principle of surrender? Avaksha Rashibe Krishna iti Vishwasaha. We should have Vishwasa, we should have complete confidence that Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. Krishna will protect me. Definitely. As he was protecting Arjuna from Bhishma, as he was protecting so many devotees, as he has just left everything to protect the devotees. So that Vishwasa we should have. That complete dependence on the Lord. If we have that complete dependence on the Lord will protect us. Draupadi wants to protect so many different ways. But what was the protection? She was going to Bhishma. She thought Bhishma is very elderly. He will protect me. He was not protecting. He went to Drona. She went to Drona. Drona was not protecting. She went to Vidura. Vidura just closed his eyes. All the Pandavas, they are just sitting. Big, ferocious
Bhima was there, Arjuna was there, such a big warriors, 5 husbands are there, none could protect her. But when she surrendered herself for Krishna, Krishna protected. So that is the actual protection. If we want to take protection, so-called protection from so many things in this world, they will never give us protection. Because they will just hurt us. They will just give pain to us. Whatever is so pleasurable in this world is actually painful. And whatever we feed, we take care so nicely in this material world, they always hurt us. Is it right? This body is so nice, is it right? We feed nicely, we give nice foodstuffs. Har roz rasgulla khila do, har roz gulab jamun khila do isko. You give nice foodstuffs, is it right? And you nicely make up it, use Fair and Lovely, that this and all, you nicely make up it, take care of it very nicely. What it will give at the end? It will give you diabetes, it will give you knee pains, it will give you BP. Is it right? Yes or no? So you have taken so nicely, you have fed it nicely, so that it will give you diabetes very easily, very fastly. If you don't feed it nicely, if you give some healthy food, no kara, everything sattvic food, it will not make you suffer, is it right? It will be helpful for you. So whatever we do in this material world, whatever we give, so-called our responsibility or our service in this material world to any material thing, it will actually give only pain in this world. Because our service, complete service, should be dedicated towards Lord Krishna. Because that is the original position. Forgetting that we have to serve Supreme Lord Krishna, and we go on searching and serving different people, they will always make us suffer in this world. That's why the Lord comes to take our service. Because Krishna is there very near to Arjuna. Arjuna can serve Krishna, is it right? He is first initial Bhagavad Gita is telling, I doesn't want to fight. Because all my relatives are there, everybody is very near and dear to me. How can I fight with them? But at the end of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna is prepared to fight, and he was fighting just on the instructions of Krishna. Because he thought it as an service to Krishna. Fighting in the war of Kurukshetra as service to Krishna. So when he was thinking as a service to Krishna, Krishna was also helping him. So he was getting purified in that service. But for Arjuna, Krishna is very nearby. But how we can serve Krishna? Krishna is not so nearby. Krishna is not reachable to us. Because Dwapara Yuga is over, Krishna Avatara is over. That's why Kali Kale Namarupa Krishna Avatara. In Kali Yuga, the same Supreme Lord, he has helped few devotees. Is it right? Few Arjuna or somebody could be able to have darshan and very close to Krishna. But in Kali Kala, Lord is so merciful, he has become close to everyone, to all the devotees. You just call his name, Lord is there on your tongue. Yes or no? He is reachable to all of us, very near to us. Just you chant his name and he is there. Then how we have to serve him? Just keep a plate, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare in puja room, and daily do Archana, Dupa, Deepa, Pushpa. No, that is not the service. Is it right? The only thing is to serve the Supreme Lord in the name, in the holy name is to hear attentively. Shravanam Kirtanam. That is the service the holy name is taking from us and expecting from us. When we sincerely chant and sincerely hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, we'll get the same benefit as Arjuna got from Krishna. Definitely the holy name also hurriedly come towards us, losing his upper garment just to protect us, just to take us from this suffering, from this Bhavasagara, and take us back to the all blissful, all illuminating spiritual world, and get out of this darkest portion of the entire creation. Okay. Anybody has any questions? Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki.